Hello, ladies and gentlemen, here, and this is a reaction to Daleks Episode 2, the Sentinel of the Fifth Galaxy. So, this episode follows up from last week's Episode 1 of Daleks, where they attacked the archive of Itos. Um, okay, so that episode felt very much like a very first episode of a series. This one follows this up with the Daleks evacuating from the planet. And then they try to get reinforcements from Skaro, but with this strange entity attempting to destroy the Dalek strategist, not the Paradigm Dalek one, I'm afraid, one that looks a lot more like one of the original Daleks, actually, the very first ones from the Daleks. Anyway, so that Dalek goes to the Fifth Galaxy to meet up with a Sentinel robot, to activate an army of Daleks, which have been cared for by human slaves on this planet. However, the entity creature has apparently gotten there first and has changed the programming of the Daleks, leading to a small fight at the very end of the episode. So, this episode is a bit different to last time. For starters, we get the Daleks actually in there. Last time it was the Daleks attacking another planet, business as usual for them. But now we're getting into the meat of the series, where the Daleks themselves are under attack from an unknown force, an unknown entity from another universe, who are attempting to destroy threats in this universe, or to ally themselves with the forces, and it wants to ally itself with the Daleks, but with the strategist as the Emperor, replacing the current Emperor. This episode also does a couple of interesting stuff, where it has a couple of moments where the Daleks themselves are under distress. They're the ones in trouble. And I like this idea that we have the Daleks themselves are the ones being the targets, and it puts them in a vulnerable situation. I find this an interesting direction to go down, as we usually have the Daleks as the oppressors. I've recently been listening to the War Doctor audios, and they've certainly been a force to be reckoned with in those stories. But this time round, we've got them as the force being reckoned by, as opposed to the force to be reckoned with, if that makes sense. So I like the more vulnerable position that the Daleks themselves are being put in, and how the Emperor Dalek isn't sure what to do straight away, and he has to rely on the strategist to help him. There's also most of the episode does focus on the strategist himself going down to the planet to meeting up with this Sentinel robot voiced by Joe Splug, and meeting up with the army. There's a really great bit where we have a very Nazi parallel with the Daleks, which is what the Daleks were inspired by. And a lot of people saying Doctor Who is too political and these days. Forget that. They forget the Daleks are based on the Nazis, and they've been very Nazi like throughout the show. And I think the bit where they have this big rally, so to speak, awakened rally, and their chants and stuff represents the Daleks in a pretty much sums up the Daleks, so to speak, and space fascists, cyborgs. Of course, these Daleks are also possessed by the entity by this point as well, but it's an interesting move to show the Daleks what they are like. And it's also really great focusing on the strategist Dalek. But just after one episode, I think he was my favourite from the first episode with the Daleks in the spin-off series for the Time Lord Victorious ones. For this second one, he's definitely secured that spot. He's definitely the best one. He's kind of a Dalek Khan meets the strategist Dalek the Paradigm one, meeting plus also a bit of the Big Finish Dalek time strategist. In the body casing of a battered original Dalek. Merged them all together, and we've got a pretty interesting Dalek here, and even one who could possibly take over from the Emperor should the time come. And that's what the entity kind of wants. It wants the strategist Dalek to take over from the Emperor and become the new Emperor, and then the two species would live together. The strategist, however, is extremely loyal to its Emperor, as the Daleks are. So it attempts to refuse this, and that's what causes the battle at the end. So I think this episode is going a couple of interesting directions that I look forward to taking place later on in the series. I watched the trailer, the release trailer, date announcement trailer. Sorry, the date announcement trailer for the series afterwards. Rewatched that, and there's a couple of other places we're going to be going to in the series, including a re-encounter with mechanoids from The Chase, this 1965 story. So there's going to be some interesting directions in the upcoming episodes. But with this one, it was a pretty great episode. I thought this one was fun and enjoyable and had some great directions. The last one was very first episode like. It was very like this is the setup. This is the build up, etc. And we didn't even know why the Daleks were going after this archive in the first place. This time round, we get motivations, we get reasons, and we get understandings, and we follow a direction that works really well. So I think, even if the opinion on the first episode, because last time I was really excited and I thought it was really great, but thinking about it later on, there was a couple of little issues. But this time round, I think, well, I might lose a little bit of opinion on this one as well. But I think this one kind of works really well, even more so. The animation itself, I personally think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty great animation. Although I'm still a bit curious why the main Daleks are firing red, and a nice commenter, because I thought the red was from the Imperial Daleks from Remembrance. So I'd forgotten they were yellow, and a nice commenter reminded me. But I'm not sure why the red Dalek and gunfire is red here, and why it's green for the other lot. Okay, the green one, actually, no, the entity's green, but why is it red from the current Daleks? Especially as the first one was blue with the first examination, but then it went red for some reason. I just don't know why they're not blue, because that's the usual Dalek colours, apart from the Imperial Daleks. It's not a gripe, it's just that I just want to know why they're not blue. Maybe it was for stylistic choices, maybe for animation, maybe red's easier to animate than blue. I'm just curious. Final note, I think this is a pretty great episode. I really enjoyed it and thought it was pretty fun. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching this reaction, and I'll see you guys next time for the third episode of Daleks. I don't know how many there'll be. I think 5, but I could be wrong. Anyway, well, as I said, that's it. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and sorry for the little mistakes and hiccups, etc. Goodbye.